Hello Charlotte-teers, it's Mama Charlotte. Welcome to a brand new YouTube video on this YouTube channel. You guys can tell I'm dressed up a little sexy here. It's because we're getting into a subject that I like to get into, especially on this YouTube channel. It's kind of like a run-on success video series I have on my channel. The Why I Love Topping / Bottoming series. If you guys don't know it, part 1, part 2, those will be linked down in the description below. They're very good videos that actually get quite a bit of traction on my YouTube channel. This is part 3. I wanted to make another part because I feel like I want to talk to you guys about the run-on situation between what you are really into even today might be different than what you were into last week or last month. And I want to open that up to you guys, just kind of like how I feel, especially being a trans woman, being able to, express myself in so much more ways than just a normal, person. Now, I'm not here to tell you guys that, just because I'm trans, I can do 10 times more than anybody else can. So don't take it like that. It's more so I am more open to exploring myself. So one thing I wanted to get into is how my sexuality, in terms of what I like to do in bed, has it changed every single month. It seems like I feel like I'm having a different thing that is I would consider a kink. If you were to ask my girlfriend, our sex life is pretty much the same thing. It's bland. It's me topping her, and because it's easier, and I've said this in many of my videos, it's easier for me to top my girlfriend because it's easier to just use whatever I was given at birth on someone that clearly can use what they were given at birth. It's pretty much very easy to me. A lot of people have asked me on my streams, Mama Charlotte, how did you have kids? How were you able to have kids? It's quite simple. I'm trans. She's not trans. She's a cis woman. I'm a biological male, so obviously I could still have kids with biological females, so it's easier for me. That's my situation. But do I ever feel like, oh my god, I would like to have a inside of me so bad? Not gonna lie, a lot. Sometimes I do, and lately I have been. I love exploring more about my sexuality than most people would be like. I just like being able to show off my body, and I think that's one thing that the transitioning has actually helped me out with, is showing off myself in a feminine way. I think that's one thing I really liked about transitioning, was that I could actually see myself in that feminine look now and be able to express myself that way. That was something that I thought was something I was really attracted to, obviously, but I also realized it's something that I found myself wanting to identify as. It was pretty it was like a yin yang. It's like a win-win situation. I could be able to dress this way. I could be able to show off my body this way. It just worked out perfectly for me. But like I said, lately I have been really, really feeling like, bottoming. And this is something that, like I said, I go through a lot. A lot of the times I do the bottoming work is when I'm usually, playing with myself, because it's more easier for me to do it. So I do have to prep. Of course, for me, I have to prep to bottom. A regular cis woman doesn't have to do that, and to top, a regular cis woman doesn't have to prep for that either. They just need a strap on. To me, topping is so much easier than bottoming, but at the same time, it's not that at the same time, it isn't that hard to to bottom. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, a lot of trans women are dating men, so obviously to bottom shouldn't be that big of a deal. But I always feel like bottoming requires taking care of yourself first, and douching, if you know what that is. Hopefully you know what that is if you're a trans woman. But so having that ability to just sit there and be like, halt, let's stop making out, and let me go douche. You know what I mean? That would be to me, it's it just breaks the moment. It's something that you feel like when you do have sex and you do want to bottom, you have to kind of schedule times. You have to prepare. There's all kinds of different preparation systems. Don't eat this and don't eat that, and stay on this kind of diet if you're gonna have sex. And sex is usually just kind of random. You know what I mean? It just happens. Especially in my life, it just happens. So it's not something I could just go in the bathroom and just get ready. Though it is lazy. I'm not saying I can't do it. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. This is an unfiltered side of me. I have never bottomed with a girl because I've always found the convenience in topping because it's easy at the time. Now, call me as you will. Say that I'm just a dude doing my duties. That's up to you guys. I don't care. But it's something that I was able to do myself because, I just found it to be easy. Men, I never topped. I always bottomed because it was easier for me to bottom because I felt like, and it was also, my sexuality. It was also my gender. I just don't find it appealing to top men. And I know a lot of men like it, but topping men to me, it just feels so weird. I don't know. It feels like, I've seen a lot of videos on the internet, not telling you guys which websites, but I've seen videos where men get topped, and I just don't know if I could vibe with it. It's not something that I find attraction into, and it doesn't make it bad, because there's a lot of people I'm sure that love to top men, and if you are one of those people, don't feel ashamed. I'm not trying to make you feel ashamed. Personally, this is my feeling on it. But there are a lot of times when I feel like topping is amazing, and I like to top, and then there's times when I'm just like, man, I just miss having it inside of me. Like, honestly, sometimes, like, it's just reality at the end of the day. But that's kind of, and I'll get into my sexuality here in a minute. I don't care about what's between someone's legs, but I find the pleasure in both of the parts, if that makes any sense at all. I like a penis in life and a vagina in life, in my opinion, make the pie. And that's why, my first ever, threesome in my life was with a guy and a girl. I thought it was like a really good combo. So, deep inside, no puns intended, actually. I was, that's just how I felt at the time. When I dated guys, I did feel uncomfortable about bottoming because it did hurt. When I did date guys, I did get really insecure because it did hurt a little bit. And for a while, I kind of wondered how people found it to be like very, very stimulating, because I felt like it was more so hurting than it was feeling good. But I find myself, in this time, my transition, actually enjoying the thought of it. So I'm like, and it does, feel good, especially, like when I'm, doing it to myself. I know TMI. No, you guys probably don't want to hear about that. But like I said, that's why I am always like wondering. But yeah, it's definitely a touchy subject, especially, but it is a very taboo subject with trans people, especially trans women. I think a lot of people think that the guys that do date trans women are guys that just like to get pegged, and I don't believe it's true. I think a lot of men find women or trans women attractive because they just find them attractive. They don't find them in a chasing status. I think a lot of chasers are the ones that find trans women and want to get pegged. And in my opinion, getting pegged is not a bad thing. It doesn't make a guy gay. There's a lot of straight men that are in relationships with cis women that will peg their partners because they find it either attractive or their husbands or boyfriends find it attractive. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think all the power to them. The more open you are about your sexuality, the more open you are about your body, the more fun you're going to find sex to be in life. Because no one wants to be stuck in a bubble, living by the standards of which everybody tells them to. A man can get pegged and be manly still. A woman can give and still be womanly. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's a sexuality it's a thing that happens in the bed. It doesn't make someone feminine during the day. It doesn't make them masculine during the day. You could still dress up like a masculine man and be pegged at night. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. And that's why, that's for me, my girlfriend and I'm the more feminine, presenting one in terms of putting on makeup all the time, having long nails, wearing dresses a lot more. But in the bed, I perform the more masculine role, if that makes any sense, because at the end of the day, I'm topping usually. And people find topping to be the more masculine role. That's why in gay couples you find a lot of, the tomboy usually topping than the feminine. And in this case it's opposite because I'm trans. I find it more convenient. And yin yang, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't find myself wanting to bottom with my girlfriend either, because I just feel like it's going to have to come to a time where we can have everything prepared, everything scheduled up, and everything set up, because it does require me getting into this comfortability of being able to open up pun intended, to her in a way that I've never seen. And I think that's one of my doors I still haven't unlocked in our relationship. And I know putting our sexual life on internet is not exactly the smartest thing to do, but it's the reality and it's the real thing. And I've always pretty much crowned myself as that person that likes to show her true life and what's going on. Not completely everything, but be real with you guys about everything that I am up to. But it is something. I mean, there is in a lot of people's relationships, a lot of people have that one door they're afraid to open because of their sexuality or because what people might think. Don't let that get to you. Do what you want to do. Sex is a journey. It's an adventure. It's an adventure. It's not a duty. It's not a, I have to do this to you. You have to like it. Blah, blah, blah. It is an adventure. Adventure. Go on a journey. Explore your body. Explore her body. Explore his body. It doesn't matter. Explore their body. It's fun. Anyways, with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this sexy video. If you guys did, leave it a like. If you guys can please subscribe to become Charoletteers today. Y'all, we're on our way to 20K subscribers. We're almost 3,000 subscribers away from the YouTube 20K subscriber mark. I'm so excited. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. I have social media links down below if you guys want to do those. I also have a code with Sohimi, an adult toy company. If you guys want to use my code for adult toys, I also have T Comfy Fits, a code with them too for $40 off of your next 3 pairs of tucking underwear. They're amazing. Also have a book in stores, Mystica, A World Beyond Dreams, in Amazon down below if you guys want to go purchase that. A lot of ways. Super chat, anything you guys want to do. Become a member on the channel if you want to become a super tier. Anything is possible. Anyways, with that being said, I love you guys lots, like tater tots, apricots, and ladybugs, lots of spots, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.